Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Rad Movement on YouTube or Rad Thinks on
Anchors,
all the
Anchors, Stitch, Spotify, all of them.
Podcasty stuff. It is I, Robbie Rapole, as always. It is the Chad, as sometimes, and it is Sir Jeremy of Jones, which is the Instagram name of the gentleman to my left.
Howdy.
Today we're doing an episode about fatherhood. We are all fathers. We all come from different levels of fatherdry. Fatherdom.
That's the new word.
Yeah, fatherdry. We're just going to kind of discuss in these different perspectives. But let me do a quick introduction with Jeremy first. So this is Jeremy Jones, the reason why my leg broke off.
That's my fault 100%.
No, so in parts of my life story, I do tell it as I lost my leg for a couple $100. And that's on me, not on you. But when we were at Kansas City, and my one friend was convincing me to go to the baseball game. I'm about to cancel the suspension show. Well, my part of it. And I walked to Jeremy, and I was like, hey man. He's like, hey man, what you doing? I was like, oh, I'm about to go cancel the suspension show. What are you doing? I said, well, I'm about to go to the ball game. What are you doing? Oh yeah, well, I want to get tattooed. I was like, no, I'm going to the ball game. I got cash. I was like, okay.
To be fair, there was no set amount discussed, and
no.
up until meeting you, because we already talked for a bit, and you just started tattooing me. All the homies I got tattooed by in the past, it was next to free. So I'm in my head, I'm we weren't super good friends at the point, but I was it'd probably be a few $100 or whatever. I didn't know what to expect. So that's my.
No, it's all on me, dude. It's all on me. I don't like charging my homies to get tattoos.
That's the money aspect of it.
Right.
Where it's I broke my leg off for $200, which is what,
And like I said, that's on me, but that's on me, and that's a whole nother.
To be fair, he didn't even finish the tattoo. He
I did
snapped his leg off,
shit.
and that's rude. I feel like it's rude.
But the cool thing,
when it lay on the ground, so you can finish.
The cool thing
is coming.
He was the one in the video. You and Johanna both.
Yeah,
him
I was
and
the
his
guy.
wife.
The video of him losing his leg.
Yeah. So that was fun. But me and Jeremy have known each other from being at conventions on the road together, and
Stress the World Bodies you work.
Yeah, that's how we met.
That was us.
And we met in New Orleans one very foggy evening. Not because of the weather. New Orleans is a place. But we've known each other for a while. We've been traveling together for a while, and it just so happens he lives across the state and now is apprenticing at the studio, and he comes a couple times a week. And you're going to see a lot more of Jeremy on the Rad Movement channel. This is kind of like the trifecta of Rad Movement at this point as far as YouTube goes, because he's going to help me curate some content, or help us curate some content around what he feels is missing from the YouTube content world when it comes to tattoo apprentice information, or just tattoo information and stuff. So we're going to also on the Rad Movement channel kind of go into some tattoo knowledge stuff. And we filmed a lot of that today. Well, today and yesterday we filmed working on his arm.
So there'll be a video on that.
Yeah, there's going to be more videos on tattoo related stuff and tattoo education stuff. Just the way that I would do it and the way that he would choose it. And there's a couple other apprentices in the shop, so we're going to let them all kind of bring in their insight and share their questions and just kind of work with it like that. So keep an eye out for that. It's really fucking exciting. Me and Jeremy are stoked as shit about it.
It's basically more or less because I'm 2.5 hours away, so for me to, I'm here 1-2 days a week, there's a lot of gaps in between that. I'm trying to fill that with more education, just to not, because I like to hit stuff hard when I do it, so I want to just, keep going. But YouTube isn't really filled with too much knowledge. It's just time-lapse videos. So I'm like, let's start something to where seasoned professional and a complete amateur get together, and I just have all the questions that's probably on a lot of people's minds when they start tattooing. So that's really where the idea came from. Just like to
I love it.
In perspective.
I'm super stoked about it, man. I'm glad that you took to the idea, or even brought me the idea. All I know is we both had the idea separately, and you brought it to me, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, just
and it's coming together. So
it'll be dope.
And as things usually go, we had no idea. We had a couple other topics, but today, right before we started, I was like, "Hey, let's do something on fatherhood."
That's sort of one
totally
that
not
we've
talk about
taken around
fatherhood.
with for a while.
We have, and I like that we have. How old is Cora?
7.
Okay, so 7-year-old dad. I've got a 21-year-old son, and Donna's pregnant, and Jeremy has a 3-month.
Judith is 1.5 months, and I have an 11.5-year-old autistic son who is nonverbal. So that's like a totally different viewpoint on the fatherhood aspect as well, which is something I can add to this.
We talked about it in an episode like that too.
Yeah. So, well, I guess let's start with that. What's it like? What's his situation like? Because I know, but explain a little bit. Give a brief synopsis
for the viewer. So, current custody situation. I'm not with his mother currently. He's 11.5 years old. Pretty severe end of the spectrum of autism. He's nonverbal completely. He does have a device that we call it his voice. He can say, I want, sweet potatoes, or I want some chicken, I want to go to the bathroom. It's pretty limited with just, his communication. Now our end goal is to get him to be able to type, but he can't talk. Like he makes noises throughout the day. He can repeat, like echo, kind of what you say. If I say, I love you, he'll say I you. Like he'll get the syllables.
Yeah, you've sent me videos of stuff like that.
Yeah,
and whatnot,
that's huge. But as far as like, because he knows everything you're saying. If you're like, hey buddy, go brush your teeth, or which I have to help him with, but just gets him in the bathroom to start the process. He knows what you're talking about. Or like, hey, can you go throw that in the trash? He loves destroying stuff. But he's been like that his whole life, and that's all I know. That's all I know as a parent. Is like, I don't know what it's like to talk to my kid, which is pretty gnarly. And we have a 1.5-month-old daughter now. That I'm hoping I don't think she's going to be on the spectrum, but it's going to be. I'm really looking forward to having a conversation with one of my offspring, because I don't know what that's like. Just for people that don't know me, and yeah, it's wild. I've already come to terms with the fact that he's gonna live with me forever. That's pretty much where I'm at. It's 50-50 custody with his mother and I, so I get him Monday through Sunday. Same with her, flips back and forth. But eventually, she's gonna hand him off to me. She's 5 foot tall, 100 pounds. She already brings him to me early a lot because she can't really handle his outbursts, because there was a lot of them to where he's a big boy, man. He's 11.5, and he's going to be as tall as me. I'm 6 foot, 190 pounds.
Right.
So he's
going to be a bit of a freight train.
Yeah, man.
So I feel like you're sharing a lot, so I hope you won't mind me sharing this bit of vulnerability. But you said to me yesterday, wasn't it the first time you cried in a while? Was thinking about who was going to brush his teeth, brush his teeth when you're gone.
Yeah. So I just finished a 9.5-month sobriety streak the other day, and the only time I would cry is when I was wasted, since I was a kid, so that's like, that would break that barrier. I'd get emotional.
So you had that masculine, boys don't cry.
Yeah, it's just how I'm wired. But I was sober at this point for 8 months, and I'm just brushing his teeth, and I started thinking who's gonna brush my son's teeth when I'm dead? And that just hit me, and I just started bawling my eyes out, just because I don't know, dude, if I get hit by a car tonight on the way home, and God forbid something happens to his mother, he can't talk, right. So it's that keeps me up at night. Who's going to take care of my son? Yeah, I have my mom, she's in her late 50s, my son's 11, he's going to live a long time, he's a very healthy kid, there's nothing physically wrong with my son, so I'm what is going to happen when I'm gone, just the thought of him in some government-run facility, or that breaks my heart. I don't even like thinking about that. So yeah, I had an emotional moment.
Speaking of breaking hearts, this wasn't something he was born with.
No, yeah, if we want, I didn't even know if you want to touch that subject.
I mean, without getting super politically charged.
I know. I'm not gonna. It'll split people, but I know what I know.
I know where you're at, but if you don't mind sharing some of that, just like, and you can be honest, you can share your viewpoint, dude. Like,
yeah, I don't.
We're here to like tell our truth. So,
all my viewpoints go by just cold hard facts, man. That's all I deal in. I don't, I'm not a very spiritual guy in a sense. I'm kind of like, there's proof of this, and this is what I've experienced. But more or less, I have videos of him talking. And about 18 months, he got his MMR vaccine. This is when people's ears perk up that are listening. And within 1 week, he got a high fever. The lights went out from his eyes. He never talked again. He never looked at me in the eye again. And he was never the same kid again. I have him on video talking before this. And being in therapy with him he got diagnosed at 2 years old. So 6 months later, he was diagnosed because he wasn't progressing as he should. And just the 99% of the parents I talked to, number one, have said, yeah, MMR vaccine, bam. And then you have just the propaganda of vaccines don't cause autism, vaccines are totally fine, this, that. I was on that train for a long time until recently when I found out that in 2016, the CDC definitively proved they within themselves, they did a study that definitively showed that the MMR vaccine directly correlates with a severe increase in autism rates. And the chief scientist at the CDC at the time came out several years ago because of the guilt he felt. He was there for 17 years, chief scientist at the CDC, and said, I have evidence that the MMR vaccination increases the likelihood of children getting autism. He came out with this, and that's what really opened me up. So I'm like, okay, because I didn't want to believe it that I gave him this shot that destroyed his life.
Right.
So that's like, yeah, no, he wasn't born with it, and that's 100% what I think happened. There's vaccine courts for a reason, for damages.
Well, so that's the thing. So now, okay, let's talk about vaccines, because we have children. I'm having a child. You just had one. You've already had one. I know where you stand on the COVID vaccine stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I stand on giving my kid vaccines. Jaden, I was a young parent. I was 20 when he was born. I got him the vaccines and whatnot, and then somewhere along the line, apparently we missed a bunch of vaccines because he went like a year or two ago and got all the vaccines he missed. So as a parent, I'm like, okay, well, vaccines, obviously you made it to this age without the ones I didn't give you. Yeah. But now, and then knowing you and knowing a couple other people that have been, one way or the other, and then have, seen a shift in their child after a vaccine, it makes you wonder, right? Because my kid, the vaccines, I got him when he was born 21 years ago. And I don't even remember what the fuck they were. But I know I did what the doctors told.
There's a lot less, I know that.
Okay, so
now it's about 75.
Right, shots. See, I don't know that. Yeah, because I think, and there was a whole lot less. Yeah. So I don't know what I want to do with vaccines.
I know what I'm doing with my daughter.
I feel like I want to go minimally. I don't want to go over the top with it. Mm-hmm. I don't believe you have to be one way or the other. And I do believe it's kind of weird luck of the draw in a sense of, dude, if you're going to get hit by a car, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So your time is your time to a degree. So vaccines are still a very foggy area for me and Donna in this element. What did you do with Cora?
We got her hers. That was spaced them out, but we got them all. Okay.
And then what are you going to do with Judith?
Giving her nothing.
Okay.
She's not getting anything.
So would you classify yourself as anti-vax?
No, because that's just a word used by talking heads to just categorize people into white or black groups. That's literally all it is. Just like, oh, he's anti-vax. All of the negative connotation that comes with that word.
Right.
Doesn't have to do. I'm not.
So you're somewhere in the gray area.
Anti-science, dude. What I know is what the chief of science at the CDC came out and said, and that's vaccines have a correlation in increased rates of autism. That's a fact. That's just it's true. Right. That's absolutely true. So knowing that, and also knowing that every single vaccine introduced to market gives pharmaceutical industries about $30 million. And this is just, I haven't researched this in a month. This is just the number I'm thinking is in my head. They make a shitload of money per
So
vaccine.
basically you're saying there's a lot of incentive to push the vaccines, which I understand.
It's 75 vaccines they get before they're 18.
And that's kind of mind-blowing to me because, like I said, I don't really remember how many vaccines Jaden was supposed to get. Apparently, I didn't give him all his vaccines. But so that's just, it's really wild to me to think that there's that much.
Yeah.
And was there that much when?
I don't even remember.
Right. Yeah. It kind of disappears.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't fucking know any better, when I was.
Right. And, and this thing, like, so now, like, I had Jaden circumcised. Not something you had to face, having a daughter.
We talked about it, like, before we knew the sex, we talked about it.
Right. And what was your guys' side on that?
I mean, it's easier to clean, yes, but, I mean, personally, I wouldn't.
Right. Okay.
Ditto.
Yeah, and so that's where I am now. Like, when I was young, we did that. We had Jaden circumcised, and I'm sorry, Jaden.
I did too, bro. I did it myself too.
Right, yeah. So that's what you're supposed to do, right?
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. So they had to put silver nitrate on his little pee-pee because, like, it wouldn't stop bleeding. And at that point, I was like, oh, fuck, this sucks. And I never thought I'd have to think about this again. So now, Donna doesn't care because she doesn't have a penis, so she's letting me make the decision. And I'm like, you know what, man? I don't really think it's fucking necessary. Like, especially with all the fucking, the surgeries with this thing. Like, I don't want to think about phantom penis skin. I know it doesn't happen because I'm circumcised.
Phantom penis skin.
Right, phantom penis skin. That's the name of this episode.
It's a good band name.
Right, yeah, there you go.
It's a good metal band name.
But like, I don't want to put the kid through unnecessary trauma because, like, okay, yeah, he's a baby, he's not going to remember it, but he's still fucking is a human and he's going to feel it. He's going to have to recover from it.
That's not great.
Yeah, no, and like it seems that society is so much like half and half on it now. Like, that means, okay, cool, then this isn't a definitive. We don't have to do this. And then if you think for yourself, then you realize you don't have to do anything. Yeah. And if it makes, to me, like, what makes logical sense as a parent to me is what I'm going to try and do this time around. Yeah. Which is, I mean, I think that's kind of what we all do, right? We just have different viewpoints. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. So one thing I don't know anything about, and one thing you're learning about, what's it like to be a girl dad?
It's something. Especially with fucking Disney teaching the girls, oh, you have to love somebody. Kindergarten, she comes home, I got a boyfriend. Yes. No, you don't. And then one day she gets in the car, me and Nico had a breakup. She's crying. I'm like, what the fuck? This is kindergarten.
Really? Oh, man.
That's what I messaged Donna. Cora needs some girl time, apparently.
I think I remember that, yeah. Holy shit, man.
She's into all the girly things.
Yeah.
I think I've heard we don't talk about Bruno every morning on the way to the bus stop. Every trip back home, every time we get in the car. So I've tried to make her up a little playlist of her own, like, other songs so I can shuffle and at least have a variety. Instead of but she'll sit there and sing, we don't talk about Bruno. If I listen to my music, she'll sing, we don't talk about Bruno.
Dude, seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. So I've seen a bunch of people post about it on Facebook, like their kids won't stop singing this song.
I don't even know it. I don't know it.
No, so I love cartoons, like.
Did you watch
New School cartoon character tattoo?
What cartoon is it?
Yeah, Encanto.
I loved it.
It was, it's
Encanto.
I've
heard like people talk about it.
Yeah.
What is it, Pixar or like what is it?
Yeah, it's Disney.
It's Disney.
Disney
okay.
Pixar.
And it's the movie that sprung the art idea I told you about.
Wait, which one?
The subjectiveness of art.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, wait, what art? What am I supposed to be making?
That movie sprung that subject on me.
Dude, I get stoked when a new kids movie comes out, bro.
Dude, I love it, and like, there's a part of me that's like, oh man, I wish I had a kid making me tired of this song.
So like, now you can drag your son, bro.
Right.
Show the Disney movie.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, yo, check this shit out, bro. These are fucking good movies, dude. It's the best cartoons ever. Like, but yeah, Encanto, it was shit. Oh yeah, it's about the family that all had special powers.
Yeah, she's the only one that doesn't have them.
Right, because I also just watched Coco, so I'm getting the.
I love that one too.
Coco's like similar.
It's
sort of kind of different.
Yeah,
different countries, but same sort of.
Right, there's Latin influences. Yeah. There's other realm influences. There's life after death stuff. There's communication between life after death. I kind of think it's kind of cool because like. It kind of like trains your kids to like be open-minded to hippity-dippityness, you know? Like, these motherfuckers are talking to the dead and shit and like communing with the dead and like crossing.
Yeah, and there's already like, religion taught to them.
It sort of teaches them that, but like when death actually happens, I mean, we did an episode on that with Cora.
Right. It teaches them that too.
Yeah, but only real life will hit them real hard.
Well, yeah.
It gives them the idea that something does happen to people.
So it kind of segues the conversation for you in a sense?
Sort of. Kind
opens the door, maybe?
Yeah, like I told you, I read that book to her to...
Yeah.
I forget... What is it? It's like the string or a heartstring or something where it teaches you that like if you love somebody, there's like a string attached to you at all times. You pull the string, they can feel it. And they like sort of graze over the idea. They're like, oh, what if Uncle Bob been up in heaven? If I pull it, can he feel it? Yeah. And then it keeps on going. But that's like a highly recommended book to kids to deal with that.
To help them, yeah.
Yeah, have you talked with your daughter? Has she asked you that? Or what's your response?
My mom passed away in September. I don't know if Megan told you at all the other day.
Sorry,
and her and my mom were real close. Like,
that's
super close.
That's right.
And then she went to a sleepover, and when she was at the sleepover, she caught COVID and she passed. She passed the night of her sleepover because I wanted her to have like fun before I broke her little heart. She came home from the sleepover. We read the book together, and I said, you know how Grandma was really sick and in the hospital. Well, she passed away. Yeah. She broke down instantly. It was horrible. We spent a day on the couch watching Disney movies.
Yeah. Grief is a motherfucker.
And she asked, did she just like to touch on what you were saying? Was there like a "where is she now" question from her?
Sort of, yeah.
Just kind of
she asks me about like. Because we have people in our family and like our adoptive family I told you about. Yeah. They're religious and we're not. Right. She said, "Oh, do you believe in God?" I go, "I believe in something, but do you believe in God?" Yeah. Well, that's all that matters. If you want to believe in it, believe in it. Yeah. That's up to you.
Yeah.
You're gonna figure out your own path. Me, I think something's up there, but I don't think it's what people think of God is.
I'm on the same page.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. Like Jesus is my homeboy, but like. I don't have to adhere to one specific place. I like the morals and like the ethics in a lot of Christianity.
When they're not twisted.
Right, exactly. When it's not forced, like just the plain bare bones ethics are nice. Like be a good person. Like
don't kill people.
Don't kill people. Don't steal. Don't try and like fucking murder. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so like it's reasonable principles, but then also I like the spiritual stuff, whereas. You get to decide your level of involvement with.
I was forced to go to fucking Baptist churches and stuff, which is probably why I'm agnostic now.
Right.
But because of that, I'm telling you, you believe what you want to believe.
Right.
You want to learn about something else? Go to a different church.
Right.
Just get all your viewpoints that you want.
Yeah. Me and Johanna grew up in Christian church.
No, my wife grew up in Pentecostal speaking in tongues.
Oh, what?
Snake churches.
I was at places like that when I was young.
She is fucked up because of it.
I was at places like that when I was young, and it was interesting.
Her mom, my mother-in-law, when she was younger, she doesn't do it now around us, but when she would drive by like an accident. Johanna would just remember her mom like speaking in tongues, like it's gnarly.
So like, but look, dude, I can sit here and say I can't even be mad at that because straight up, and this is like a whole open-minded to everything type thing, because I had my time with church and religion and Christianity where I was very against it because I grew up in it, and then as a grown-up I went to it, and then I kind of really went away from it. And now I'm just kind of like, hey, Jesus is my homeboy. Like, if you're a solid Christian and you're a good dude and we like talking and we can connect, hey, I'm with it. So to me, it's kind of like, I just lost my train of thought.
It wasn't so much the religion, like the Jesus or whatever. It was the aspect of, if you don't do exactly what this book says, you're going to burn in a lake of hellfire.
Yeah.
Right, and that stuff sucks. Oh yeah, so that's what it is.
That's kind of fucking brutal.
That's
to tell
a fire and
6-year-old.
brimstone. Yeah.
It's not the way I want to parent my new
I
child.
used to have a bumper sticker that said, "Have you threatened your children with eternal damnation yet today?" that's my whole thing, dude.
Right.
Like, that fucks with me when I was a kid. And
Right.
I'd be like, dude, if I like lied to my parents about whatever. Am I going to hell now?
Right.
I would think about that. I wrote songs about this.
I've been there a number of times.
It's like fucking brutal.
So like that's why I don't want to push any type of religion on my kid. I want my kid, the new one. I want him to just basically like you guys were saying, because like I said, I grew up in that really Christian.
Yeah.
Very, very fire and brimstone. Don't go to hell. Don't masturbate. And it's like, don't have sex before marriage. And I'm like, what? Yeah, that's all fine and good, but like. What happens if you guys click on all levels except for the bedroom, and now you fucking have to struggle in your whole relationship?
Yeah.
Like, man, look, that's why I say Jesus is my homeboy, because my homeboys wouldn't want me to go ahead be in a marriage that I can't fuck in. But yeah, so I think we're all on the same page with our kids. Like your choice, religion choice is your choice.
I'll let her pick. Like she went to church with Nana in Virginia.
You told me that, yeah.
She actually played Mary in their church pageant. I went there with them, and they all seem like cool people. It's not like a fire brimstone. And if you want to believe that, go ahead.
I got to when I was what they used to call a militant atheist in a sense. Mm-hmm. When I first, because dude, I used to like up until I was like 17, bro. I was going to church still.
Okay.
Like I was reading the Bible on my time off. All my drummer went, like my homies were all there, and it was also like a dance around Pentecostal type, which that's what the homies went to. I went as well. Right. And then when I started just researching it and just realized, a lot of this is like recycled pagan mythology. Like when you get down to the bare bones of it, like it's just religions have been around forever. They're rewritten. At the end of the day, I was pissed. I was lied to for 17, 18 years. So I was like, I'm going to burn a church down before I die. I'm not like that anymore. But I was so
I'm glad you've released yourself from that type of anger, dude. I'm not even worried about the church. I'm worried about your anger.
Oh, I was pissed, bro. I was that guy on Facebook like a dick, just being like, so here's another reason that religion's bullshit. Or like, look at all these contradictions in the Bible. There's thousands of them. Now today I look at it like life is hard. And if reading a book and believing in that makes it a little easier for you, then that's cool.
Absolutely.
That's where I'm at. And that's totally fine. And I'm 33 now, and I'm not trying to argue with anyone about their beliefs because I have other shit to do. And if it doesn't affect me, I don't care. There's
no need for the conversations that tie around why we're so angry at each other for being different. Like you said, life's hard enough.
I got dinner to eat. Like I don't have time to deal with you.
Like I'm trying to manifest enough time in the day.
Whatever you do doesn't hurt me or anybody else, do you?
That's right. Exactly.
That's literally it.
So what's it like being a brand new girl mom? And then I want to segue into what was it like being a brand new girl mom? So
it's the best, dude. It's the best. That's all I can say about it. It's just the coolest thing in the world, man. And I'm older now, so I can really appreciate. I'm financially stable for the most part. So I can kind of sit back. I work from home. I run my own business, so I'm home with her 24/7. My wife's works for her family, so she's been off for a month and a half. The whole, she's just gradually going back to work, and the office is 4 houses down.
Right.
So I'm 24/7 there. And I'm like if my daughter's awake, I'm holding her. I just love her more than anything.
You're a little helicopter. It's cute.
Dude, I love it.
Same way.
It's adorable. Yeah. I can't say shit because I don't know how I'm going to be right, but it's adorable seeing you guys.
It's
I'm trying to break it. Like, I'll be like, Corey, I'll take the dog out and let her sit outside with the dog forever. I'm sitting there. Go out there. It's like, okay, come inside, man.
1001.
Yeah. we just recently started letting her go to the bathroom by herself at the restaurants.
Yeah, dude.
So do you think that's a girl mom thing, a girl dad thing, or do you think that's
I'd be the same way if it was a son.
Yeah, okay.
That's a kid thing.
I've watched too much shit and seen how shit the world is that I don't want to.
Yeah, see, I feel
take
like
my eyes off.
I feel like I don't know what it's like. I feel like Donna's gonna have so much of that worry that I'm gonna have to lay on the brakes some and be like, hey man, why don't we mellow down some? So I feel like that's my role in this because that's what it's been like through the pregnancy, which is the weirdest fucking ride. watching someone grow a human that you two made together because you had sex is a really weird fucking thing.
It's fucking dude.
It's weird.
I wanted to we've been together for 8.5 years, 9, and I was like, let's have like 2 kids. That'd be dope. We just had our first. We've been together for 8 years, and after watching just the pain my wife had to go through, I don't want to do that to her again. As much as we would, me more so than her, want another kid in the future. I'm like, dude, it was so brutal just watching her go through what we went through. I don't want to put you through that again,
dude.
Because I don't have to do shit. I couldn't.
You did the fun part.
Straight up.
There's nothing we can do.
I could not be pregnant. If I was a chick, straight up, hats off if you've had a kid. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah, dude, it's so weird and just
it's crazy.
It's rough and every time Donna has a struggle she overcomes, she finds a new struggle. It's so weird. Physical pain is no joke.
You can't do shit.
Nothing.
You can't.
Nothing. Can I massage you?
Can I give you more water?
Do you want to be touched? Do you want to cry? Do you need to punch something?
Do you need me to fuck myself and leave?
Yeah, dude.
Is that okay?
What the fuck is? Oh wait, you want me to come back because now you're sad that I fucked myself and left?
That's right.
And look, no disrespect to anyone that is pregnant or was pregnant. It's like Jeremy said, hats off to you.
It's a ride.
It's just a ride, and it's so hard.
I get why you're in a shitty mood.
Right, I totally get it. I just don't know how to fix it, and I'm a fixer. I like having solutions. So a lot of the time, I'll get frustrated with myself because I can't fix it. And so then that fucking projects onto her. And then there's a little voice inside of me that says, don't do this. And then that other little voice is like, fuck it, you're a jerk. Say what you got to say. And it's that battle of trying to keep it together for yourself, for them, for the baby. 2 times when we were fighting during this pregnancy, Donna was like, I don't want to be the couple that fights and yells. And I'm like, I don't either. Fuck, what do we do? How do we do this? And it's cool because I feel like things have been changing in my brain and life is getting, I don't know, things make sense sometimes. Usually as soon as I verbalize that, everything falls apart. But
I mean, we've talked to enough mental health people even just through this to give you better perspectives.
Absolutely. And I'm always growing and evolving and learning and fucking making efforts to grow and learn and progress. Actually, to the point that I went to Ohio to visit one of my business mentors. I ended up taking a trip to Nashville to meet one of his mentors, and we did this transformational workshop, and that made me realize I want to start doing transformational workshops. So somewhere around a month from now, I'll be doing one locally in Melbourne. So if anyone is interested in attending that, it will be a free workshop, and it will be intense and cool and awesome, and we would love to have you show up.
I'll be there, man.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be rad.
Sure.
So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, now I keep forgetting where I'm going with things. But
you were talking about
it's
the
strange,
perspective
dude.
And how
this camera, it'll fuck with you.
Yeah.
You'll have thoughts, but then
I do this all day.
Yeah.
I don't. This is
no, I'm saying I lose my train of thought all the time. Is what I'm saying.
You're talking about that?
Yeah. I lose my train of thought.
I'm talking and I'm conscious of. There's a microphone there. There's a camera there. There's 2 other people listening to me. There's however many listening.
I've been there.
Fucks with your train of thought.
Remember, the Ink Master shit broke me of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I cried on my first episode on international TV. Yeah. So cool.
I guess you're good.
But I did a lot of interviews since then. But yeah, no, I totally get it.
Yeah, you know what's up. You've been.
No, it's cool though. But that's part of it. I like you being able to say that because we are regular people. Sitting here having conversations about our lives. And parenthood at this point. But yeah,
a little bit about parenthood. We've kind of veered off a lot, which is how it goes. Every episode we start with something. And
that's organic.
But that's the thing that is parenthood.
Yeah. Because
everything we've talked about is stuff that we have to decide what kind of parent we're going to be.
You're still together with your daughter's mother.
Yes.
See, that's dope. That's not something I ever knew.
Oh, wow, that's not something I ever knew, bro.
Correct.
I didn't want to have another. I didn't want to have another kid, mainly because I was afraid to be a fucking single dad again, and I didn't want that game. I can handle it way fucking better now, but Man, I don't know.
It sucks for the kid.
It sucks for the kid. I like the family unit idea. Like, I love the divine feminine and the fucking divine masculine, you know, trading places between both parents, but being instilled in a child. I mean, when you have a man that's well-rounded and a woman that's well-rounded as people, please don't get me wrong saying like I'm a great fucking person, that I'm a perfect person, because I am a great person, but like I try to be very well-rounded on the balance inside, and so does Donna. Yeah. So I feel like that kind of gives them a really multiple perspective view on life, and that comes back to allowing them to make decisions for themselves.
And I mean, speaking on the separated parents, it's better for the kid for parents who don't match together and spend all their time like arguing, hating, that you don't want the kid to grow up in that. No, it's better for the kid for you guys to split up and stay together.
Like borderline nightly fistfights. Yeah. I grew up with my mother and stepfather. My parents got divorced when I was 2, and the rest of my childhood was cops being there, them beating the shit out of each other. Yeah. So that's what I know. So I'm like, thanks for that. That's not exactly how to not raise a kid. Yeah. And if I just do the opposite of what you did, my kid's gonna be 1,000 times better off.
Yeah, yeah, and like for me, I didn't have that. You know, I didn't have that
thing.
Yeah, like I didn't have that. I didn't personally face sexual abuse in my family. I didn't. What's that?
Neither did I.
Right. So like, wow, it's usually I'm the only person in the room lately for the past few years that hasn't experienced it personally. But like that makes me have survivor's guilt a lot of the time. I feel bad that like fuck, there's so many people that are in this much pain from that. But like I had a good life. You know what I'm saying? Like my.
Speaking of, there's an It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode. That you guys watch that show at all?
I have. I did in the earlier years.
Yeah, me too.
Recently.
Where the whole concept is like, you know, one of the kids got molested in one of their classes, and one of the guys on the show, one of the It's Always Sunny guys, was like, "How come Mac?" He's like, "How come he didn't molest me? Was I not good looking?"
I think I did see that one.
That's what you fucking it just made me think of. But yeah.
But like I had a pretty good life, you know, like, you know. My dad didn't sell drugs when I was born. You know what I'm saying? Like my family had really successful, legitimate businesses. And like my mom gets in my head about this because my dad, when he was alive, there was a point in my life where he started like smoking pot with me and hanging out, and he started telling me stories of his past, and he started telling me about when he used to sell drugs and shit. And like I always thought it was funny because his stories were real churched up and good. He was a good storyteller. But like I didn't have to face that. You know, my oldest brother, Michael, he saw some of that, and I don't know how closely. The only story I know about that is when he was like 8 or 9, he was cleaning the garage, and he found one of my dad's old triple beams. Like, so like that's, I don't know how deep he faced that, but he faced being poor. Mm-hmm. Like, I was the kid that didn't have to face being poor. My parents had figured out business by the time I was born. I was the third one, and there was an 8.5-year gap from the first one to me. So like they had a lot of time to grow, and they had a lot of time to figure it out. And so like my life was pretty easy, other than being a fat kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, things were pretty good. My parents took very good care of us, but they were very helicopter. They were very my way or the highway. Children are to be seen and not heard type stuff, and that deeply hurt me so bad, like for many years. And now I'm like, man. If we knew better, we'd do better as parents, so we're doing our best. My parents did their fucking best. Thank you for, and this is the point I was trying to make, thank you for giving me the childhood you gave me because you did your best, but I still want to make my children's childhood better. Like,
you're still going to build on that.
Right. Like, I want to make my new son's childhood better than Jaden's childhood, and now I'm lucky enough that I'm actually going to pick him up tomorrow. So, like, I'm super stoked that he gets to come live in my house with me and the new baby, and, like, we get to have that, like, you know, reconnection and fatherhood, and parenthood and family and communion in that, and like he gets to be a part of the new baby's life, and my nephew, he lives at the house, so like I have a fucking family, you know what I'm saying? And like I didn't with Jaden when he was a kid, so that's really cool and weird, and that's interesting. So like it's rad to have that. You guys have been together the whole time, you and Megan, so like. Yeah, so like you.
Props, man. That's not a common thing anymore.
Yeah. Well, same to you. You've been together 8 years, so yeah, congrats to you guys. You know.
Oh yeah, if this doesn't work out with my wife, that's it. There's no way it's not going to. I love her more than anything.
I mean, like, we play off each other well. I think you know that.
Yeah.
She's talked about it. I've talked about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm her rock, she's my rock.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I've said to Johanna, she'll repeat. She tells people, she's like, "Yeah, Jeremy's just stoked. You know, Judith is my daughter. That we had her, and I actually we planned on having her.
Right.
We planned it for months, if not close to several years.
I remember you guys were planning it heavy towards the end.
And I'm like, man, this is going to be so awesome to just raise my daughter in, because I'm in my unless if she wants nothing to do with me, that's the only reason me and my wife will get divorced, because I'm not ever leaving her. Right. She's too awesome. Like that's all.
No, she's the shit, man. We all have very supportive, loving spouses.
Super supportive. Since she had never seen my OCD breakdown before, and she saw the breakdown in Virginia, and I had an extended episode, and she supported me through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Even in my continuing.
Got a down ass chick, man.
Yeah. And I see OCD in Cora. Speaking of going back to fatherhood, reel it back into the original topic.
You pass your shitty traits on to your kids.
Well, I mean, there's evidence that OCD is hereditary. Like my dad has it, my mom had it, my brother has it, I have it.
Right.
My sister has it. I see it in Cora.
So how does that make you feel as a parent?
Shitty.
Yeah.
I just hope it never gets as bad as it does get for me, for her.
Do you feel responsible?
I don't feel responsible.
Good. I was hoping not.
No.
But I'm just trying to get some insight on what just shitty, just you know what her road may possibly look like, and it may be difficult.
I just hope it's not as bad as mine. Right. Mine was also it reared real bad when I was younger through my surgeries, and when I had the PTSD from that.
On a positive note, you dealing with it will help. You can give her pointers on how to deal. Like, I'm the oldest grandson, and I've got a lot of cousins, brothers, whatever. I have gnarly anxiety, probably from my parents beating the shit out of each other. But I've dealt with it. I'm older than all my other, cousins, whatever. So they call me when they're having anxiety attacks. I'm like, here's how you deal with that.
Yeah, I've been through this.
I've been through hell. Gnarly, I'm dying shit. So it's really helped them. So that's kind of cool. Sometimes you gotta fucking, learn from that shit, and you can just help other people with it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why that.
I didn't have the proper tools until my breakdown in Virginia when I finally, because I was in a support group already, because I had a sort of a breakdown with my health OCD with a mole, and it was the whole thing. And it scared me because it was my OCD got that bad. So I thought that's when I found International OCD Foundation, IOCDF, and I watched Ethan's videos, and through them I found a support group. Through the support group I got my therapist. And when I had my big breakdown, my harm OCD breakdown, I finally pulled the therapist aside and said we need to set up a one-on-one. And he gave me a toolkit to use. That's when I learned about ERP, which is the gold standard for OCD exposure response prevention. And I can kind of sort of tell Cora, give her, when she has something happen, I go, well, this is what you need to do. I'm not a therapist. I can't clinically do it. I can just tell her through my experience, this is what I had to do to get through it.
From parental guidance. Yeah.
And we tried taking her to when my mom passed, it hit her real hard, and she would bring it up every day. So we tried to bring her to somebody to talk to, and they just wanted to cause more problems. But it's my fault. I took her to a psychiatrist, not a therapist. She tried to tell us that her hand thing was could be MS or Tourette's, or she could be on the spectrum. And it's like, she's not on the spectrum. I mean, you've never met Cora, but Cora's not on the spectrum.
I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Briefly.
I mean, I told her it's OCD. It's a tick.
Right.
It's her compulsion to do that whenever.
Yeah.
The spectrum is this big now, according to anyone with a fucking mouth that has an opinion.
No.
Well, and either way, whether it's a clinical diagnosis or not, anything that we go through as humans, we have to deal with. So, it's nice that you have the option to help her.
Mm-hmm.
You can guide her. But have you ever looked at the possibility of maybe she won't have it as bad?
I hope that she doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, when we went to Virginia on our vacation, our mini vacation, I actually we talked to my therapist and we had lunch, and he got to meet Cora for the first time and feel her out. He's the person that taught me ERP, so it's I want to meet you again.
Right. So how'd that go?
I'm kind of the catalyst of him restarting the support group because I talked about like how much that helped me.
Fuck yeah, man.
And I might be joining those via Zoom because he can't legally counsel me from between states. He's not licensed in Florida, so I can't do a Zoom. But if I'm joining a support group, he's not giving me therapy. I'm joining a group.
That's awesome. Well, dude, honestly, therapy is just talking with people anyway. So if you do it in a group setting, a lot of the time those group shares trigger like breakthroughs and trigger fucking eye-opening moments and insight and fucking emotional outpours. So like, yeah, dude, I like that. I think that's cool. I think that's really cool. So just to be clear, you're not talking about this trip to Virginia. You had a breakdown. You're talking about when you lived there.
When I lived there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was working at the haunt, which if anybody knows, I worked at a haunted house. It was a professional grade haunted house. I was in a room by myself, and something triggered it. My harm OCD, and I was in the room by myself, so I'm having an anxiety attack, and I'm sitting there. I hope it's not like this attack. I hope it's not like this one. And because I'm doing that with OCD, it's all snowballing into one big issue. And by the end of the night, I was done. And then it just kept evolving because OCD likes to attack what you love the most, and I had never had a kid before. And that's when I sought help.
I'm glad you did, man. I'm glad you did for your sake. I'm glad you did for my sake, because honestly, the episode we did with Ethan was one of my favorites.
It's one of our most viewed and most commented on.
Dude, I fucking loved Ethan. I loved that video. Since then, I've followed him on the socials and just like, that dude's a valuable human.
We've talked a little bit. When my mom passed, I posted something and he commented. We talked a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's a good person.
He's a good resource too.
He's a good person, good resource. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, because he's got a lot of knowledge. Like, either I'm OCD or I'm not, and I'm just learning from you guys how to manage life better. Because it seems like a lot of the OCD management stuff is great life management tools in general. You know?
Yeah, like when you met Joker, when he was down here for vacation, he started telling me about some of his stuff, and I'm like, you might have OCD, and now he's talking to somebody about it.
Nice. Good, man. I'm glad that you're such a good resource for people, like, to help spot it and to help, like, grow and progress from that point. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I thought I was just dying for a couple of years before someone's like, "Oh, you have anxiety." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
One of my good friends at dinner one night years ago, too many strangers kept coming over to the table and saying hi, and they were my friends, so they kept sitting and hanging out. Too many conversations that he couldn't relate to started triggering his shit from being a foreign kid back in the day. My man just took up from the table, didn't say a fucking thing, went and started running. We left dinner. Yeah. Picked him up on the side of the road. And we were like, "What's up, bro?" And he was like, too much. And so, like, when he started going to the doctors and telling the doctors, "Yo, like, I have a heart problem," they're like, "No, you have anxiety." And he's like, "No, it's a problem somewhere." And like, it was anxiety. He had to face that. Since then, his life has gotten immensely better, and things are wonderful for him. But it's really weird to like try to understand somebody that's going through that if you're completely ignorant to it. Because I was not as like gracious. I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?"
You can't fucking understand it.
No, you can't until you're in it. Until you're in it.
And it's such a douchey thing to say, but it's so fucking true.
No, well, I love Donna very much, and she understands what it's like to be an amputee more than most people that aren't amputees. But like, still, there's a certain point, like, you just don't get it if you ain't been it.
Yeah, like,
she was on the hospital floor next to me. She was there. If she could have been in the surgery room with me, she would have. Like, she's been there every step of the way, but still doesn't know what it's like because you just can't know what it's like unless you've lived it.
It's like being pregnant. You don't fucking know.
None of us know.
No, dude. That's been one of the weirdest things for me because I don't remember what my first son's mom was like being pregnant.
Dude, me neither, bro.
I don't remember it, dude. And I'm just like, 21 years ago, but like, 21 years is a long time, dude.
Mine was 11, and I was it's just like, I worked a lot, I guess. I was working for Microsoft at the time, so I was gone a lot.
I worked a lot more then than I do now, and like, one of my focuses now is like being there for Donna and being an emotional support human, and I'm like, dude, there's a huge pushback in my brain about that. I'm like, dude, and I hate it, but like, I'm gonna come out and say it. I'll be sitting there like, fuck you need from me? What? I'm be sitting here and that helps you? Get the fuck out of here. I got a life to live, woman. You know what I'm saying? And like these are the things I say in my head, and then when I get reeled back in, and I'm like, yo, look what the fuck. Go back to what it's like for her to be making a baby. What the fuck? Like that's so weird. She's like this little alien invasion is happening in her belly,
sucking the life out of her,
dude. And
literally.
And I hear so many moms say that, and they're also happy to be moms, but like it is a brutal process, man. Fuck.
Everybody was telling me whenever she was giving birth, don't watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Right.
So I watched the whole thing. It's fucking weird.
It's weird.
It's like an out of body experience. Just like the doctor in there with all the gear on. All I could think of was she looks like one of the aliens of Alien.
Dude.
And like pulling her out when she has, I call it baby cheese all over her.
Yeah.
And here, cut the cord. Fucking weird, but okay.
Dude, I felt the same way. All right, I gotta ask you guys something. Fatherhood, girl dads. How did you get over the weirdness of cleaning your daughter's private parts? Because that is one of my biggest fears of ever becoming a girl dad.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know what to do or like how to do it. And like, isn't it weird? Like, boys have pee-pees. It's easier to deal with because I have a pee-pee. You know?
Front to back,
yeah,
homie.
never the other way.
Front to back.
Okay.
That's about it.
Just one foot in front of the other.
You look at it like my daughter is dirty. I have to clean her and put a new diaper on. I change her fucking 8 times a day.
I mean, there's mental bumps to get over, especially if you have like a sexual OCD.
Right.
Being one of those dads, I don't have that. That's not one of my subsets, but there are subsets that. What if I'm a pedophile? That's an OCD subset, or what if I'm sexually attracted to this OCD?
It's fucking weird to even consider.
Yeah.
Just like
no, but that's the thing. It's not that you're doing that.
It's like you have the thought. What if I am? What if I am? What if I am?
Oh, you're like, what if I?
That's what the OCD is
What if I'm
about.
attracted to this? What if I'm attracted to this? What if people think I'm attracted to this?
That could also relate to. Now you make me think I'm OCD because I'm like, that's
dude.
that's
I feel every time we fucking talk about his OCD, I'm like, hey, I do that.
That's
like,
that's an
like
anxiety
there are
trait
specific
also,
like subsets. Like if you have that subset, I could see where that being difficult to
I don't look at it like that's a
son.
vagina. I'm like, there's folds here that have shit in them. I need to wipe out the shit so my daughter's healthy.
Right, and to me, it's like
that's really
to me, it's like like I don't even know what the thoughts materialize at. It's just like, fuck, that's weird. I'm scared. Like I don't want her to fucking ever think that I did anything wrong to her. And, so is that normal to have that feeling?
Yeah. I haven't had it. But
okay.
I'm sure
I would say that's normal.
Well, that's the thing. It's normal for you to not have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, exactly.
Doesn't mean it's not.
So I just think it's interesting that you have. I felt that that's been one of my biggest fears. Like, what if we have a girl and I have to fucking clean her vagina?
I did in the hospital. I was like, hey, Joanna, am I doing this right? And she's like, yeah, you're fine. Just front that.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And if you have a helper, exactly. And it is your kid and all that. But that's like a big worry for me. Weird, stupid thing.
Not one of my subsets, so that never bothered me. But I could see somebody with that subset bothering them, not wanting to do it.
Yeah, being like my, if I understand correct, there's also like the not anything to do with genitalia, but like some dads just don't change. The nurse literally said to me in the hospital, she's like, "Wow, that's really nice to see you helping." Like, I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean?" Like, she's like, "No, most dads literally just sleep in the corner the whole time." I'm like, fuck that's weird. My wife just had a C-section.
Yeah.
And had,
I'm gonna help a lady out.
I'm doing stuff, bro.
Yeah, dude. Like when my son was born, I was like, look, you don't have to work, so just do me a favor and make sure I don't have to clean a shitty diaper. Well, now with Donna being pregnant, she can't really handle shit. So with any of the animal shit, I've been the one cleaning it all, and now it's like, oh fuck. I'm probably gonna be the shit diaper guy.
Oh yeah.
It's not that bad.
But the thing, like I've because it used
can
to
be.
They're tiny shit stuff.
Right. It used to make me gag really hard just thinking about it. So like now I've gotten way better at dealing with poop.
So it was had a lot of blowouts. So I mean, it can be bad.
And I've dealt with it. And I remember Jaden's blowouts. I remember being in the mall and having to buy him a new pair of clothes.
Judith had
some new clothes because he went through all of them.
Bro.
What do you mean? Oh, it's
talking.
Oh.
It's shot. White curtains, homie. She's laying on the table 6 feet away. Fucking bam, all over the curtains, bro. And the changing table sideways, so it didn't get on my wife who was changing her. But I'm shitting you not, dude, 6-7 feet on the curtains away.
I have a similar story.
Gnarly.
So we were in the hospital. Corey had some kind of virus, and we had watched her get spinal taps and everything to figure out what was wrong. But that was terrible.
Shit.
But I'm changing her on the bed, and a nurse is next to me, and I go to take the diaper off, and I lift up my wiper, and then boom, it shoots. It's like all the way across.
You can't teach that.
It hits the wall, and it explodes on the wall. Gets the nurse, and he's like, this poor kid's going to have such a bad hemorrhoid. It's just pushing him out so
God. Fuck.
That's impressive.
Yeah, dude, I'm not looking forward to the poop and pee cleanups, but like,
not bad.
You know, man, I'm 41. I've had businesses fail and succeed. I'm in a succeeding part of my life right now. Things are going pretty well. You know, I've lost a fucking leg. I've had family turmoil. Like, I've raised a 21-year-old. You know, like,
You'll be fine,
you know, like that's the thing. Like, I know. Like, but I appreciate that. But like, it's cool to like have a little bit of comfort in it.
You know,
you're like, yeah, I'll be fine. I made it through this
100%.
before.
You know what's real funny? Is we'll be outside when we had the pool and the pool was filled up. Cora would go off to the side of the deck, just pull it aside, and like just lean back and pee like a boy.
They can do that. So, that can be
talent.
Oh,
like the other day, I'm sitting there. We don't even. The pool's not there anymore. She's outside letting the dog out, and I'm in the kitchen. I look up and she's doing it like. Hey, look at this.
Don't do it in public.
She's not even in the pool. She just lifted her shirt up.
She just like
she could have walked 3 feet to the bathroom.
You know what that means? She's a problem solver.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
she's
critical thinker.
She has problem solving issues. But it's one problem she solves.
According to that, I think she's innovative and very smart.
So you got your regular school?
Yeah, no, charter school. But yeah,
Okay.
Charter school.
All right. Was charter school like a preference?
It's right around the corner. We knew the place. All of our nieces went to it.
Okay.
It's K through 12, so it's the one school she's going to go to through 12th grade.
Okay, so that's kind of cool. Like creating that small
different.
community.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's
All
cool.
the teachers know her by name. They know, like,
Right.
I don't know all of them, but they know me.
Right. That's cool shit. So what about you? What's your plans on?
Homeschool, homie.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're doing it.
Cool.
I got to chaperone my first field trip.
I used to like chaperoning. I'm gonna love chaperoning now because like now I'm an actual grown up and I know myself. Back then I was like, what the fuck are they doing letting me chaperone?
Taking a bunch of first graders to the zoo, it's like herding kittens. I learned 5 names by heart because, hey, get back in line, get back in line. You stop doing that. You don't touch the animal. Get back over here.
Those are the ones that end up being my homies. Fucking misbehaving kids and misbehaving animals are like my fuck, dude. They love me. They love me, and I'm like, stop fucking around. And then all of a sudden, they're like, I like you, and now they're cool. Now we're friends. Now I got a bunch of bad pieces of shit hanging out with me.
Yep.
But they're my homies. I love it. Dude, like Empanada, my fucking French bulldog. He fucking he terrorizes Donna, but dude, just my little buddy, little boy, love my little boy, and he'll go and shit on the fucking couch.
Yeah, they are fucking. Yep. Dude, it's not. Yeah, it's not fucking.
Cora's got a crush now, and he was one of the only well-behaved kids in the group.
It's gonna be a guy.
There you go.
That's a fucking hurdle. I'm not looking forward to jumping.
Oh yes, dating.
And I'm a scary looking dad. Like, look at me, Pete. I look like I used to do a street show, and one of my jokes was, I look like I promise I didn't just escape from prison. Just because that's what a lot of people see me as, head tattoos, face tattoos.
Yeah, I guess
covered
so.
From head to toe tattoos.
It's so normal
Wearing
for us.
black every day of my life.
So you've been a tatter your whole life, and you just didn't even realize it.
Yeah. So, like, on a positive note, any boys into my daughter are not going to fuck around, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, I'm going to end up in pieces around this city if I fuck around with this guy's daughter.
And you get like you get another couple other big tattooed dudes in your circle, and then you've got some like big scary redneck dudes. So you've got a full spectrum of like crazy dudes.
Uncle is,
like dude, like whether you're afraid they're gonna kill you and eat you because they're heavily tattooed and weird, or they're afraid they're gonna shoot you with a fucking rifle.
Yeah, bro, it's a thing.
You got
I'll
all
cross
the
that bridge, dude.
all the fear spectrums covered for the boys.
She's a month and a half old. I have time. I'll deal with other shit in the meantime. We'll get there.
You got till kindergarten. She's gonna get a boyfriend apparently.
fuck.
Yeah, you better watch Disney.
It's a good thing her mom and dad are a teacher then.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with school. I'm across that bridge when I come to it. I was figuring regular, public school or whatnot, but you never know what life's gonna bring. I mean,
you guys got a good amount of like chartery schools or nicer schools around you, like Meadow Lane and whatever is like right next to it.
But see, like my life is always so crazy. Who knows where I'm gonna end up being? You know what I'm saying? So we could end up just being traveling around the world for funsies and want to homeschool our kid because of that.
What I care more about than the fucking garbage state propaganda that they're fucking taught in a normal.
That's how you really feel.
Oh no, it's 100%.
Looking at her math, I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's the Common Core math.
What I care more about is like interaction with other human beings. So if she is going to be homeschooled, I'm also gonna I want to see if she's interested.
You're gonna socialize her and show her cool things.
Jiu-jitsu or sports. Let's go play some fucking soccer. Hang out with other kids.
Like Corey did karate. I mean, she did karate.
Halfway
through it, she wouldn't do it unless I was doing it in the class with her. I just sat in the back and just.
You don't want to have the weird homeschool kid. That's not a thing I want to make. I don't want to do that.
No, I feel that. You want your kid to be well rounded as a human and be able to interact and be a pleasure to be around and stuff.
I got Corey in club. She does environmental club.
I think that's cool. Yeah, Jaden never did any of that stuff. He was kind of a loner though. I guess being the only child, and then being that your dad is working a lot, and you're going to grandma's house, you're hanging out at the tattoo shop, and he had a lot of freedom to figure out who he wanted to be, and I don't even to this day I don't like pushing him too hard in any directions, but I do like to instill values and core beliefs and let him figure it out. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch that new one and to watch the way our kids all kind of.
Another thing I'm excited about is being able to teach, because I'm a musician, so not being able to teach my son guitar or drums fucking kills me. Right. So I'm like, oh God, I hope my daughter's super into music, that we can have a little band together, and I can teach her drums and how to play guitar and record music, and dude, it's like being a parent for the first time, but not. I look at my son as I've been parenting on extreme hard level, a video game, extreme hardness for.
Yeah, you've been playing some Dark Souls.
Dude, my son scratches the fuck out of his face. He tears shit apart. He'll fucking headbutt you. He'll flip tables over when he's having a bad day. So and he's getting big, bro. I can't catch him anymore.
I mean, I have a friend that her son is similar. He's not completely nonverbal. He'll talk, but goes through those similar bursts, and watching those, I'm like, I don't know how you do it.
It's fucking brutal, and that's all I know.
Yeah.
So I'm super stoked. It's like being a parent. What I was getting at is it's like being a parent for the first time, because I've been doing this for so long. It's all I know. And when other people bring their kids around me, like your daughter, when she talks yesterday, freaked me the fuck out, because I'm like, what are you, 25? You know what I'm saying? Cause
sometimes you would think so.
Kids in my brain, they're not supposed to talk, because my kid's 11. He's never spoke to me once, except for when he was a baby saying banana and mama, dada, stuff like that.
That's all Corey does.
I had
fucking awesome.
I had 2 deaf dogs, and when I was around dogs that could hear, I thought they had superpowers.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. You just get so accustomed to
you
communicating a specific way, and that's just what it is. So yeah, I feel like there's so much we could talk about that we'll end up doing way more fatherhood episodes.
I don't know how many people are going to make it to the end of this episode. It's going to be a long
Hey, if you're still here.
Exactly. No, yeah. And if you're still here, thank you.
I know 2 people that listen all the way through. Thanks for listening, Jim. Appreciate
it.
2 people.
Thank you to anyone that listens, honestly. Every time I get a message where people are telling me that, we've made a difference, and every time you send me a text saying, hey, these people loved it, I'm like, holy shit, all right, cool. We are making a difference. We are really doing something here. So, thank you guys for letting us know.
I watch them, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I watch them all the time.
Every time you tell me that, I'm like, wow, that's so
Oh,
wild.
yeah, I like that, conversation you have with and I dig it, bro.
I get weird, and I have to work on receiving. That's one of the things I learned recently. I have to work on receiving finances, compliments, good from people, good from myself. Mm-hmm. So thank you for that, because I'm working on receiving. So to hear that from somebody that I love, respect, and am working so closely with, that means a lot to me.
Yeah, dude. On record, you fucking literally changed my life with helping me, like being an apprentice. It's crazy, dude. Like, I love you more than anything.
I love you, dog.
100%.
That's the
Made
shit.
me cry for the second time sober in my life.
The first time I've cried publicly in a long time was on a video with him.
Yeah.
This motherfucker does that shit, bro.
Dude, I do. But that's another thing. Like, I do that with the apprentices all the time on accident. Dude, at Lindsay, I can't talk to Lindsay. Like, dude, if I fucking talk to Lindsay, I have to be very careful. Because, like, dude, it happens in a second. Like, Donna would yell at me so many times. She'd be like, what the fuck?
Cry again.
She'd be like, what the fuck, dude? I've been asking you what's wrong all day. He comes in the room, looks at you, and you're bawling. I'm like, and then she's like,
That's what I do. I go and cry.
But that's one of the things. So off the topic of fatherhood, but like on the topic of the rad movement, that's one of the gifts that I realize I can help people. I can help people facilitate like discovering their shit and facing it and like holding space and loving them through that. That's one of my gifts. It's hard to fucking say that publicly. I almost just cried after I said it because it's like so weird to say that.
You need to understand that's not normal.
I don't understand that. You know, like,
not everyone has a motor like we talked about.
Right.
That'll probably be a whole nother thing.
A whole other thing, yeah.
Dude, most people are just totally content with going home, making dinner, watching TV, and passing out. No one, wants to help other people or tries to help other people.
Right, like, dude.
It's fucking... But I don't want to keep...
But thank you for acknowledging that, because, like, now...
You're a special dude, is what
Thanks,
I'm
man. I appreciate that. And, like,
100%.
I felt things like that for a while, but, like, to step into your greatness and stand in your power and, like, know what your gifts are and, like, be able to spot them, that's huge. Like, so, like, thank you guys for, like, helping me be, figure these things out about myself and whatnot, like, dude... You are one of like the best fucking facilitators. Calling Ethan a resource, like you are a human resource, dude. Like you are a fucking lifeline for me sometimes when it comes to making these fucking videos and like keeping me on track and keeping me moving. And like, dude, you deliver a lot of like quiet, supportive love in a way that I don't know how to do.
Well, I mean, you've also given me an outlet because I was an OCD advocate when I came down here, but like with this, I've been more. You've seen it. I've posted a lot more. I've posted a lot more about my struggle and more motivational stuff, and then I've gotten messages because I've been posting more. So because you're posting it,
you taught me shit about OCD. I didn't know.
And it
me too.
That's cool. If one person can identify their OCD traits and help themselves because of that, then this whole thing was worth it.
Yeah, because OCD, people that don't know OCD, all they know OCD of is what's portrayed in the media, which is
they make fun
stigmatized.
of
it. Yeah. Penny.
Yeah.
They kind of go into it a little bit more, but no, that's not what OCD is.
No, absolutely. No, man. So like, I think we're all doing good things here, and I appreciate you guys for doing the good with me. The rad movement is something I started a long time ago, not knowing what the fuck I was doing. Remember we were doing videos, and I was terrified.
You were afraid to post them. I was like, just fucking post it.
Dude, we've gone through this battle with me so many times. And I remember the first videos you took of me, I was terrified, I was trembling.
And they were probably our lowest quality, but there's some good stuff in there.
Right, like, because we did it.
Yeah.
Because you fucking forced me to do it. Because you showed up to the house with the camera and said, let's go. And like, here we are now building something really cool. Like, I was just talking to somebody, I think my client today that I was tattooing, he was like, it's weird to hear people say this, receive, I gotta be able to receive. But he was like, I brag about it because like, you're a world-class guy, you're famous and you've got your own movement. And like, to hear people tell me that is like, whoa, because it started as us just making videos and me being terrified to post them. Mm-hmm. And like, here we are now actually making a difference. And now it's just going to keep making more of a difference, dude. Like, I'm blown away when like I take a step back and look at the numbers of what we do. Because I don't look at it all the time because I'll get obsessive. But like, I was sitting with my nephew Christian the other day and we were comparing analytics. Bro, his is modest and new. Mm-hmm. And I thought mine was modest and new, but it's like leaps and bounds ahead of his. So I'm like, fuck, I've achieved growth here.
Yeah, people watch
We've achieved growth here. And that's one of the things, the rap movement has been me alone for so long. Like, now I finally feel like there's more people in it. And like, holy shit, man, we're really, like, this is something fucking rad. And I appreciate you guys for being here. Yeah. And do you have an I'm rad tattoo?
No.
You need one. We need to do an episode.
You see, it's been in my head. I'm like, I never wanted to ask for it. Because it's something
kind of
like
like
you
the
have
CS,
to come
yeah,
to me.
like, yeah. Nah, I totally dig it. Yeah, dude, that's totally doing. And this thing, I don't have like specific rules or parameters. Don't be a junkie, fuck up loser or bum, and like trying
Shit
to
on out.
like the whole thing is like if you're gonna get an I'm Rad tattoo, I just want you to want to be better, and then your current self. Not saying you're bad how you are, but like always being better, always growing, always changing, progressing. So like the parameters are pretty low. You just gotta want it. You just gotta want a better life for yourself. And I'm down to if that little tattoo can help do something for you. Fuck, I hope it does, man. So thank you guys once again. Thank you guys. If you like what we're doing here, like, share, subscribe. Please leave comments. Let us know if
we're gonna get a lot of them on this one.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Like, please throw a lot of comments down below. I always respond to the comments, and if you have one specifically to one of the other guys, we'll make sure they respond to him. But yeah, please go in the comments and just let us know if any of this resonated. Let us know like your thoughts and anything that popped up from any of the topics, the multitude of topics.
We started with one. We went to like 50.
Yeah, and we worked our way through a lot of topics that we were like emotionally charged around different dudes, and it was kind of funny watching the emotional charge bounce around the room between us three.
I like that. Though.
Yeah.
That's it's real.
Well, and that's the thing, dude. It is about being real. It is about accepting ourselves and the people we're around and learning how to fucking harmonize together as humans, rather than fucking have such strong beliefs and then become no, now we're not friends because you believe strongly and that triggered me in some way. Well, why am I triggered? Can we discuss it? Like we've been working through a lot of that shit together, working at the shop, like, and I've worked through a lot of that shit, and that's like it's certain words that we thought were okay, like that shit hurts people, like I'm never here to hurt people, so it's kind of cool to grow and progress as a team, and this whole studio, you guys, everybody really valuable in your life helps you grow. Everybody in your life helps you grow. Either you're winning or you're learning. So,
there's gnarly shit going on. And I'm stoked to be a part of it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. So,
and be on the lookout for the tattoo educational stuff coming.
Yes,
soon.
Absolutely. It's coming very soon.
Very soon.
I can plug my thing.
Yes,
if you're into the paranormal stuff, follow Rad Paranormal.
Fuck off! What's up with that? Sorry, I'm not gonna
follow Rad Paranormal.
Yeah.
We do.
You didn't
know that? Follow. No.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, he does.
We do. We were doing weekly podcasts. Now it's kind of we do podcasts when we want to, kind of thing. But yeah, you can go to our website, radparanormal.com, go to the social page, and it pops up with each new episode of the podcast.
What about Booze and Brews?
Booze and Brews, it's kind of fallen off. When I got COVID and then the house and then Virginia.
Okay.
I got to get back with Helen Blazes about doing it again, but it'll get back up there. But it just kind of fell off for a while.
Cool.
Dope.
Well, you guys know where to find me. If you want freeze-dried goodies, Jeremy runs a business called Space Candy, and it is freeze-dried all kinds of goodies.
You got about a year left before I'm tattooing full time and I discontinue it. So go to spacecandy.store and claim some of yours today.
I gotta have him do the
I'm turning that shit up.
Yeah. Hot sauce stuff.
Hell yeah, dude! I need to get some hot sauce and hot salts. So
you tried to steal Lindsay's.
I did. I didn't mean to. I didn't even realize. I'm sorry. Thank you guys so much. We love you. You're the shit. We're rad, and so are you. Have a great day.